My name is Michael Jr. I'm gonna do some jokes, but they're not gonna start right away. See, for me, comedy is like dating somebody that you really, really like, you know. And I don't want to rush this. You know? I used to do that. I used to come up on stage. I would do a joke right away, you know, jump right in. You know, but I got hurt, man. So, I just want this to be different. You know, that's so cool. She knows sign language. That's so cool. Watch this. He is so attractive, isn't he? It's hot. It's the only time I can make a woman say whatever I want her to say. So we'll get started with the scheduled jokes in like 3 minutes. I like to take my time, like I said, I like to take my time. Hey, look, I'm not the only black speaker on the stage. That's awesome. The blacks, then I'm black and I'm speaking. I'm not going to explain the jokes. I'm not going to explain the jokes. Man, this is such a cool school, man. You guys really love to turn out for chapel. I'm really impressed. What else I find out about the school? You guys are doing a lot of recruiting right now for track and field. Heard that. But you don't have a track or a field. Might want to work on that first. Don't nobody want to run up and down the 90. That's a little dangerous. Excited to learn that apparently your football team is undefeated. Congratulations on that. That's pretty good. They hate some of the black speakers too, apparently. I didn't notice that. It's a black figure that's hanging. I don't know what else you want from me. All right, man. Let's get started, man. Let's get started, man. Have some fun. It's gonna be great. Let's see. I'm on social media. Some people don't know how to hold conversations about with social media. Their language gets a little confused. I had a dude walk up to me after a show. Dude rode up on me. He was like, "Excuse me, Michael Jr. Can you like me?" Man, anybody else like you? He's like, well, not as many people as I want. I was like, maybe she'll approach, dude. He's like, well, can you like me when you get home? I was like, if I don't like you now. Then he said, if you like me, I'll follow you. I was like, that's your problem right there, bro. So I got a big family. Man, I got a big family. And a lot of times people get on stage and they'll talk about their family, but they won't show you no actual picture of the family because they want to be all private or whatever. I'm not like that. I actually brought a picture of my family. So that's the wrong picture for this crowd. I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. We have a big family, you have to do things, right? You have to do things to save money. We wanted a family picture taken. That stuff is expensive. So what we did to save money is we all got in the front seat of the car, looked both ways, and ran a red light. Two weeks later, the picture came in the mail. That stuff was awesome. I did that joke in prison. I did that joke in a prison because I do comedy in prison. I wasn't like in prison doing jokes like, get off me, I'm funny. It wasn't like that. I went to this prison, I did that joke, and like 20% of the prisoners laughed. And the rest of them didn't even laugh. And I realized some of them had been in prison so long that the dude next to him had to explain the joke. He was like, see, nowadays, when you run a red light, they send a ticket in the mail. And then he looked at the dude next to him and was like, a red light is what they use for traffic when you go out on the road. And then he said, a road is what they have. I was like, man, where am I at right now? I'm doing some new sports now, trying to do some new sports. I like basketball, but I went ball hunting. Anybody ever do that? Anybody go ball hunting before? Some people call it golf. Stuff was ridiculous. My friends tried to get me to go. They was like, yo, there's gonna be some greens there. No, there really wasn't. I went to a baseball game. I went to a White Sox-Yankees game. Any baseball fans here? How many people like baseball? Yeah, I don't really understand baseball myself. So I go to this baseball game, and I hadn't really been before. A friend of mine, I got a couple friends who play baseball. They're like, yo, come check out the game. So I go to the game. And I don't understand a lot of, like, first of all, why is the manager dressed? Like at any moment he might get in there. You were 97 years old. We walk in there, right? And everybody at the ball, everybody's drunk. At first I was thinking they're drunk. By the 7th inning, I knew they were drunk. Because they start singing this song, take me out to the ball game. We are at the ball game. Then this big dude gets up on the plate. This big swollen dude gets up, right? He gets up on the plate and hits the ball. And it's like a base hit. Dude takes off running, right? But it's really not that fast. They went to a commercial break, came back. Dude was just passing the plate. And then he's apparently at this point, he's done. And he goes like this. And another dude comes in and takes his spot and starts stealing bases. They called it a pinch runner. That would be awesome to have a pinch runner in life. Your wife asks you a complex question, like, hey, does this dress make me look big? Like, yo, bring it in, bro, bring it in. She got a question for you, man. My kids want a dog. Anybody here got a pet? Anybody got a pet? Cool, cool. Do you have your own house? Cool. You don't have a pet, okay? Yeah. Your parents have a pet. Yeah, that's what you want to know. My kids, they want a pet. And when I was a kid, I grew up in Michigan, right on the other side of the water. And my idea, like, we didn't love our animals. Here's my theory. I don't think animals really love you back. I know you think they do, but they really don't. Like, we had a dog, and this is what happened. We took the dog to the vet, got the bill, left him there. Like, we would go visit the dog once in a while, but we couldn't go spend all that money. Like, yo, man, I hope somebody buy you, man. You know? So we're thinking about getting a dog. We don't know what to name. We're not sure what we should name the dog. And I'm thinking about naming the dog, like, Grandma. A dog named Grandma is so useful. Hear me out. Your friend calls you up. Hey, could you help me move to the 5th floor of my apartment building? To which you could reply, ooh, I'd love to, but I'm supposed to take Grandma for a walk. You gotta be careful, right? Because people will forget, right? You will forget that people don't know your dog's name is Grandma. You'll get mad at a dog. They're like, ooh, doggone Grandma, chewed up my shoes and peed on the couch. She's getting old, man. Think I'm gonna have to put her down, yo. People really think that the dogs love them. This one lady says to me, this lady I know, she said, I know my dog loves me. My dog saved my life, right? Her dog apparently saved her life from a fire. That's what she thinks. This is what happened. It happens all the time. You hear the story all over the world. The house catches on fire. The owner was asleep. The dog will not leave the owner's side. This is them telling the story. The dog will not leave the owner's side. She's barking and barking, till finally the owner wakes up, and they both leave, and then they're safe. I'm just saying. I think the story would have been a little different if the dog knew how to turn a doorknob. So when I was a kid, I'm going to share this with you guys. Oh, let me say this real quick. I love paying attention to people. I pay attention to their mannerisms, how they do stuff, why they do it. It's just what I do. It really was out of survival, which I'll explain to you in a minute. Oh, let me say this. I'm excited I can stand here and tell you guys it's been over 2 years since I've had a cigarette. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. Actually, it's been a little longer. I've never had a cigarette before. Interesting how you guys can clap for 2 years, but nothing for a lifetime. No, it's too late now. Really. It's way too late. Another thing I don't understand. Did y'all just switch? Wait a minute. How does that work? Y'all just switched? Somebody was faking? Okay, I never saw that before. And switch, that's pretty cool. I gotta write that down. I never saw that before. Oh, that's so cool. All right, I gotta focus. What was I going to talk about? Is there another rotation coming in later on? Oh, that's it. Okay, cool. Why did you do that to me? Okay. What did I do? Just slice her foot at a rubber. A couple things I don't understand about women. I don't understand heels. I don't understand wearing heels. I think wearing heels is like doing drugs. This is my theory. Hear me out. First of all, ladies, you do it to get high. You feel great while you're up there. When you come down, it hurts and you feel bad. Talk about, I'm never going to do that again, but you do it anyway, don't you? I think you have a problem. I really do. I go shopping sometimes at second chance stores. You ever go to a second chance store shopping? Not a second hand store, a second chance store. Ross or TJ Maxx. The reason I call it a second chance store is because the clothes and stuff they have there used to be at the mall. But nobody wanted them. So now they get a second chance. You gotta be careful when you buy something at like TJ Maxx. You gotta be careful. There's always something a little wrong. Like I bought a Nike shirt there. The back of it said, just try it. It was an extra medium. How about my niece that Tickle Me Elmo? Little cute little doll, you tickle her and giggle. She touched it and said, get your hands off me. So when I was a kid, it used to be hard for me to read. When I was a kid growing up, it was hard to read. As an adult, I read great now, like those signs over the door that say excite. Like I can read that. How did you say excite? Okay, good. So as a kid, it was really hard for me to read. So what would happen is my mind would scramble, especially around junior high, my mind would scramble to figure out what words were. Because I didn't want my friends knowing that I was having a problem reading. Like I'm hanging around with them, we're having fun. But I didn't want them to know I was struggling reading. So my mind would scramble. If I saw a word and I didn't know what it was, my mind would scramble. I would look at words like 7 different ways to determine what it was. I look at the font size, the color, the positioning, what's in front of it, what's behind it, how people responded to it. This was out of survival. Then it got to the point where I was really fast and really good at looking at these words 7 different ways and figuring it out. By the time I got to high school, people didn't even know I wasn't really reading everything. I was just working it out. Then it got to the point where I wouldn't just apply this method to words, I would apply it to situations and people. So you would look at things one way, I'd see 7, maybe 8, 9 different possibilities almost immediately. So look at that in retrospect, and I realized how low my self-esteem was as a child. And that was really the devil trying to communicate to me, trying to hold me down. But that exact thing that was trying to hold me down, God was using it to prepare me for what I do now. Because that's one of the primary places where I pull comedy from. You look at things one way, I got almost 7 different possibilities almost immediately. So that very thing that looks like it could be a handicap could be preparing you for what God has you to do in the future. That was extra. Y'all was expecting jokes only. I'm sorry. So now what happens is when I'm walking around and doing stuff, I'll get these random thoughts. And I thought what I'd do today is I share with you some of Michael Jr.'s random thoughts. And also share with you another skill that I have, which is to play the keyboard. People didn't even know I had this skill, so I'm going to share some random thoughts on the keyboard. Random. We're going. Is this on? All right, cool. These are just Michael Jr.'s random thoughts. And listen, if you understand the thoughts, go ahead and laugh and enjoy the thought. If you don't understand it, move on. gonna miss the next thought. These are just random thoughts. All right, I'm gonna start to play now. These are random thoughts. Here we go. Random thoughts. Stay-at-home moms always gone. If a woman gets pregnant in Vegas, does the baby have to stay there? Is the word tofu short for trying to fool you? When it comes to sharks, what's so great about the white ones? On her foot. Does that make her a unicorn? Do vegetarians really love animals as much as I do? If God didn't want us to eat animals, why do you make them out of meat? Why is abbreviation such a long word? Why are there no mirrors in the self-checkout? What do you say when an atheist sneezes? Yo, good luck with that, man. I've noticed that no one seems to care about the outer city youth. Take your time, man. It's okay. Take your time. Is it okay to re-gift the gift card as long as there's still a little something on it? You know, they say 85% of people admit they're not good at math. I'm sure there's people right now going, I'm glad I'm part of the other 22%. And finally, if God clapped his hands, wouldn't that make the Big Bang? It's just a theory. Thank you very much. Those are Michael Jr.'s random thoughts. Y'all got some cool stuff I'm going to tell you about. I have a CD. It's called Michael Jr. Funny for a Reason. It's like 45 minutes of funny. Then the last track is a 3-minute salvation prompter message. Get one for yourself. Get one for a friend that don't know. Be like, hey, listen to this. Welcome to the kingdom. Also, I have my new comedy special. All of this stuff is available in the back. I got my new comedy special. It's called Laughing on Purpose. It's in Walmart right now. But if you get it today, I'll sign it because I ain't going to Walmart. So, so you can get that afterward. Then I wrote a children's book. Yo, I wrote a children's book. Here's the deal. When I was a kid, I couldn't even read one. Now I wrote one. We did spell check it. I should say that. We spell checked it. So it's all good. Here's what happens. Not everybody's called to the fivefold ministry. I mean, it's just not. But I really believe when you put the word in your heart, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. So I never set out to try to create a message. I just don't do that. I just do what I do and know that God's going to show up with some great opportunities. So I wrote this book, and it's about a little girl named Gracie. I just was creating the funny. I wanted to create a funny book that parents could laugh at and kids could get a message out of. So this little girl's name was Gracie. Her name was going to be Brittany, but at the time, Brittany somebody was tripping. So little Gracie's on the way to the fun park with her dad. We turn the page, we see the car parts aren't doing their job anymore. They're all complaining, right? The muffler's like, man, I'm exhausted, right? The battery's like, be quiet, I'm in charge, you don't know me? And the spark plug is like, you don't know me, I'm from under the hood. So all the parts are complaining, they're not doing their job, and then the father, actually the parts then they try to do each other's job, but they can't. Because they were all made to do something that none of the other parts can do. And then the father gets out the car and he speaks to the parts and says, why won't you do what I need you to do? I'll take care of you, I'll keep you covered and protected. I'll never let you go through more than you can stand. And the parts hear this and they realize they have to work together if they're going to make any progress, but it could be too late because a tow truck pulls up to take the car away. If this happens, little Gracie won't be able to get to the front part. Will she get to the front part? I don't know, you got to buy the book. So that's pretty cool, man. Let me tell you a couple of stories as far as bounce. Bounce means to vacate the premises. Let's see, where can I start this thing? Oh, there's a club in Los Angeles. It's really a hard club to get into. It's like one of the hardest clubs in the country to get into. When I first moved to Los Angeles, like 14 years ago, or whatever it was, I'm making this up anyway. Like 14 years ago when I moved to Los Angeles, there's this club there called the County Magic Club that I really wanted to perform at. But it's so hard to get into this club. Well, this comedian named George Wallace saw me in New York. If you don't know who George Wallace is, my favorite George Wallace joke, he says he was in China and he bought a pair of shoes. And he looked at the bottom of them and it said, made right around the corner. So I love George Wallace. He saw me in New York, saw that I was clean, working New York crowds. He was like, yo, you're funny. I'm going to take you to the County Magic Club. I can't get you on stage, but I can at least introduce you to the manager. So I'm going to the County Magic Club. And in the green room is, I'm brand new in town. In the green room is Gary Shandling, Jay Leno, now George Wallace, and then me. These are some soldiers in comedy. I'm brand new in town. At the time, they were working on a joke. A football player got hit in the eye with a flag. Anybody remember that? He got hit in the eye with a flag and he was soon to leave for $400 million. Now Jay Leno, Gary Shandling, George Wallace are all working on a joke for the Tonight Show monologue for Jay Leno the next week. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just happy to be in the room. But your gift will make room for you. So they're sitting there and they're working on a joke. Then they got quiet and they looked at me. And I was like, oh, snap. This is an opportunity. I was like, all right, so let me see if I got this right. He got hit in the eye with a flag. He lost his vision in one eye. And he's soon to leave for $400 million. He's not going to see half of it. For real. How did I get that joke that fast and with that much pressure? I had been practicing. I've been practicing since I was 7 years old in the form of a child who was having a hard time reading. I was practicing. God was preparing me so my mind could think that fast, so I could move like that, so I could be ready for moments like that and moments to come. Check it. Right now, you guys are practicing for some stuff. I don't just mean in school. I mean with all of the drama that goes on leading up to school. All of that stuff is practice. You're preparing. It's practice. It's practice. Pretty soon, and even for some right now, it's game time. But the key is to try not to murmur and complain, but just know that God has a plan. He didn't cause it, but he absolutely will use it. So now I'm in the club, right? I'm in the club. Let me do a joke that I want to do for you guys in case I forget. Remind me to say, I'm in the club now. That's where I'm going next. And then right now, I'm going to tell you about an observational joke that I created. College students. Take somebody who goes to night school, anywhere in the country. University of Southern California. Ask them what school they go to. Normally, you get a nice, quick answer. What school you go to? USC. New York University, you get a nice, quick answer. What school you go to? NYU. Ask somebody to go to community college. You get a much longer response, don't you? What school you go to? Well, see, right now, where I'm going, I'm going to get a couple credits, right? Then my financial aid is supposed to come through. Then my cousin is going to let me use books. Then I got transfer, man. I got to get my life together, man. I'm supposed to read this book called The Powerful Play. So, yo, now I'm in the club, right? Hope y'all tracking. There's supposed to be a clock back here. Let me know where I'm at. I don't got nothing. Just letting y'all know. So, whatever, this is the next class. So now I'm in the club. I'm in the club on a regular basis. And one day, right before I got on stage, I'm headlining the club. Right before I got on stage, I had a change in mindset about comedy. God gave me a change in mindset. Normally, when a comedian gets on stage, he wants to get what? He wants to get laughs. I was completely about getting laughs. God said no. Instead of going up there to get laughs from people, I want you to go up there and give them an opportunity to laugh. This changed the whole game because now I'm not looking to take, I'm looking for an opportunity to give. It changed everything. So I get up on stage, I do my show, we have a great time, I leave, and I'm outside, and there's people all around who want autographs, tell me their favorite jokes of the night, want to take pictures. It's the same situation every time I left this club. But this time, while I'm talking to the people, I looked across the street and I saw a homeless guy. I had never seen a homeless guy outside this club before, ever. But that doesn't mean he wasn't there before. That just means before my mindset was to get laughs from people, so why would I even notice a homeless guy? You can't get laughs from him. But I noticed him and I was like, man, what about him? How can I give him an opportunity to laugh? Then I asked God, and God was like, you really want to know? And I was like, nope. You know it's going to be an assignment or something. And I said, yes, we did a comedy tour. We made a movie. It's called Comedy, The Road Less Traveled. We made a documentary. Went to 4 locations. First place we went to was Fort Worth, Texas. There's a place there called the Samaritan House. Everyone at the Samaritan House is homeless and they have HIV. We went there and I didn't think these people were going to laugh. We got their stories and they told me about this guy named Jim who doesn't talk to anybody. We do the show, people are laughing. Jim walks up to me afterwards. He walks right up to me afterwards and he says, and he's walking toward me. I'm like, we just going to stare at each other? What is he going to do? And he said to me, he said, I want you to know that up until tonight, I hadn't laughed in over 20 years. When he said that, I almost started crying. I was like, man, I ain't going to be crying. You better back up. We left there. We went to Montrose, Colorado. In Montrose, there's a place there called the Dolphin House. The Dolphin House takes care of children who are being abused by their parents who are on drugs. This grandmother tells about her grandson who is so afraid of his mom. Everywhere he goes, he wears a Spider-Man costume. One of the things his mom has been doing to him is she's been pulling out his toenails. So she tells me the story of this little boy, and I hear all these other kids' stories, and now they bring them in, and I gotta do jokes for them. If my mindset was still to get laughs from people, there's no way I would have been able to do the show. But my mindset was changed. Romans 12:2, be not conformed to the ways of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I had to do the show. It's my assignment. It's what I do. I get up on stage, sitting right up front, Spider-Man, full costume. And then all these other kids, and I know their stories. I start doing comedy, people start laughing slowly but surely, more and more, and I hear a voice come from right here, and the voice says, my name is Ronan. This little boy pulls off his mask and introduces himself to me. And he starts talking to me for like 9 minutes like I'm not doing a comedy show. He talked about Spider-Man, he talked about Batman. He said, Batman has a belt. And I was like, you know what? I got a belt too if you don't sit down somewhere. That's exactly what happened. It was the biggest laugh of the night. Judson, I can guarantee you it was not in my notes to do a joke about whooping kids. In a room full of these kids. But God knew what comedy needed to be done. The elephant had to leave the room. We had an amazing time. We leave there, we go to Skid Row. Listen, with the little Spider-Man kid, by the end of the night, we're literally on stage dancing together by the end of the night. I didn't show up with some money. I showed up with my gift, and this little boy gives me and everybody else a gift we won't forget. So we leave there, we go to Skid Row. Dude said to me, I've been homeless for 7 years, on crack cocaine for 5 years, I was beaten, stabbed, and left for dead. I could really use a laugh, Michael Jr. Thanks for the pressure, dude. Same dude has to use his left hand to keep himself from falling out of his chair in laughter. In the film, you get to see the transformation that takes place. We leave there, and we go to a youth prison. It was a little hard. They just want you to banter with them. I'm like, you know what would go with that muscle shirt? Some muscles. What is that, a white threatener? So we leave there, and we go to an adult prison. It's not in the film, gotta tell you what happens. We get to this adult prison, I'm scared for real. As soon as I walk in, the warden takes my belt from me. He's like, you can't have a belt. Somebody might try to hang you. Can't they just boo me or something? Why you gotta hang me, dude? I'm in prison, my pants loose. It's a bad idea, man. I'm saying, I got 7 different ways to look at this. So I'm scared, for real. I'm walking in and bars, they open in front of you, they close behind you. They open, you take a few steps, and I'm scared. I need a joke immediately. I need these dudes to like me immediately, but not too much, you know? So I'm scared, I'm walking in, bars are open. I need a joke immediately. I had one joke I was going to say. I knew I was going to start with it. But once I got inside, I didn't feel like I should start with it. It was scary. I was going to be like, you guys are a captive audience. I just want to say that, I didn't feel a peace in my spirit. I started with that joke. So I'm walking in, I got no joke. I don't know what I'm going to start with. I got 7 different ways to nothing. To add to that, there's no stage. There's no stage, there's no glass, we're not doing comedy on the phone. These cats are right here expecting funny. I have 2 steps left before I gotta bring the funny. All I've got on pink jumpsuits. I ain't saying nothing about them jumpsuits. I got nothing. I walk in and I got 2 steps left. I put this foot down, nothing. Still, 7 different ways to nothing. I lift this foot up. I still got nothing. I settle this foot, and for real, sitting right up front is a white dude with a white beard named Moses. I was like, thanks, Lord. When I said these words of Moses, the place exploded in laughter. We had an amazing time. I said, Moses, this is what I want you to do. When you see the prison warden, I want you to look him in his eye. You look him right in his eye, and I want you to say, let my people go. Judson, I need you to catch this. There's 2 things. How did I get that joke that fast with that much pressure? I've been practicing. I've been practicing since I was a kid in the form of somebody who couldn't read. All that stuff was practice to prepare me for what God has for me to do now and in the future. Another thing you have to catch. I didn't know what I was going to say or what I was going to do until I got my feet where they needed to be. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play you the trailer to Comedy Roll Let's Travel. Talk to you for a couple of seconds after that, and we're going to bounce. Bounce means to vacate the premises. Check it. Comedy with the Roll Let's Travel.
Continue on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Talented young comedian.
Very funny man.
Michael Jr.
So much go on. People still need to laugh.
It's just important. It's funny, first and foremost, regardless of whatever else happens.
They look real hard. I mean, like, they've really been through some stuff.
Some of these kids are away from their families. They haven't seen them. Their families don't want to have anything to do with them. I mean, it's probably been a long time since they've really been able to laugh.
I have to bring the same show that I would bring if I'm playing a theater.
I was 13 when I did it. This is the lowest point in my life. To me, I'm ready to go up. I'm tired of it already. And I only been in jail for 2 years.
If I could see you in your eyes, I would pay forgiveness tonight.
Everybody's very happy to laugh.
It is good to hear you guys all laugh together as opposed to laughing at each other.
29, I'm homeless, I'm an addict, and I need to laugh.
My dad bought a house, and he put all 5 of us in it, but he never was home.
Some person is hurting inside. You know what I mean?
I want to do a comedy show for drug-endangered children in one place.
So that's not funny.
I was at the drug endangered children's meeting at the Dolphin House. I didn't see too much fun in drug endangered children, but I changed my mind.
I came to Samaritan House in 06. They gave me another chance to start my life over again.
Take comedy on the road, let's travel, and see what the people's reaction is.
Trying to come in and make us laugh like how we did. When you come talk to us, you know, that make us feel like more human.
You laugh so hard, the feelings bleed.
Reach a lot of guys. They reach me. Actually showed me that I can be sober and have fun.
So we're still doing events like that all over the place. Here's the thing. Everyone has a gift, everyone has a talent. And when we go to those places, like, they don't pay that much money. I'm just gonna be real with you. Like prisons, they just don't. But this is the thing. People always say it's not about the money. But you just got to step out there and really do what God has called you to do. Don't be concerned with what's on the bottom of the invoice. Be more sensitive to what you're hearing from the invoice. I got deep real quick. I got deep. Let me tell you a quick story. I'm going to bounce. I was up writing a joke at like 5 o'clock in the morning because I got 5 kids. You got to get up early if you want to be funny. So I was writing a joke about the good room. The good room is that room in your grandmother's house or your aunt's house that's cleaner than the rest of the house. Like can't nobody go in there. So I was writing a joke about the good room, and in the middle of writing this joke, God stopped me and told me to tell this story to his people. We were his people. So just now when I was over there, he was like, "Yo, tell them. I'm going to tell you." So imagine that you're a house. Everyone in here, imagine that you're a house. And outside of the house is Jesus Christ. This is what it's like to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Outside of the house is Jesus Christ, and he wants to come in. But he'll never force his way in. He wants you to invite him in. And the reason some people don't invite him in is because you're cool with the way things are right now. Whenever you need something, you walk over to the door, say what you need, close it up, and go back in the house. But that's not a relationship at all. For some of y'all, just ignore the door altogether and go out the side door and act like the front door is not even there. And then there's other people in here who, and the reason some people won't open up the door and let him in the house is because your house is a mess. Or you feel like there's some stuff you want to do first. You need to clean it up first, but you can't clean it up. Some of you invite drugs into the house in hopes that that would distract you from the mess. Or even invite other people in the house hoping they can help you clean it up, but they can't. The only one who can clean it up is standing outside the door with an apron on and a bucket in his hand, waiting on you to open the door. Then there's other people who used to have Jesus in the whole house, but for some reason or another, you've tried to evict them. You've moved them to one room in the house, the good room. Have you ever noticed how the good room, most of the time, is a room right up front with the big window? So when people walk by, they're like, wow, that house is clean. The truth is the rest of the house is a mess. Wow, that person goes to a Christian school, but the rest of the house is a mess. The only person who can clean up the house is outside the door waiting on you to open the door. Then you guys are here at a Christian school, you know how to open the door. And this is the thing, when you open the door and let him in, he wants access to the whole house, and he's probably going to show up with a contractor named the Holy Spirit and remodel the entire house. But you have to open the door. Yo, I'm Michael Jr. on a bounce for real. Thank you so much for letting me.
Thanks for bringing Michael Jr. to Judson.
And Judson, thanks for the check.